What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Monday night, D&D night, 7:01 p.m. PT here in San Francisco. It's November 8th, 2021. Oh, man. We're continuing on with our RP arc. Mr. Al and I, a.k.a. Kale Hilkin, had our little duo RP session for 4 hours last week, and it was very fun. Now it's time for other people in the group to do their thing, which is great. We have the full cast here, except for Eric, of course, our guest, who's not here today. But we do have Donnie and Pete and Rival and Crazed and myself and obviously Styx. So let's say hi to the boys and do the damn thing. All right.
No, and
Yeah.
that was the other thing is we would do different levels every week. That was the other thing. Hey, what's up?
Talking about the potential of a Dr. Disrespect D&D one-shot, that'd be hilarious.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wonder if he would play. Ladies and gents, the boys. Boys, what's up?
The chat.
Hello.
We're back in town. That's what's up.
I just want to say it is a special day because it was Pete's first day at Stream Elements today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Big day.
Congrats, dude.
Big damn
How
day.
was it? How was it? How was day one?
Day one was a blast, an absolute blast. There's a lot of work to do. Super excited. It's gonna be a big year.
Yes, sir.
Lot to
Having
do.
work to do is good. I haven't
But
had work
very
to do.
excited that I get to work with my boy Soma again for the first
Hell
time.
yeah,
in.
brother.
There were years in between, but
Yep.
I'm
We already have our first
stoked.
very important meeting on the calendar too. On
yes.
your first day. That'll be
A
in a
must.
month. In a month. We have an important dinner meeting at Rich Table at the bar.
Very
now
important.
we're talking.
Yeah.
Now we're talking.
Celebrate the first month.
Damn, I need to get in on these.
Cannot miss.
Celebrate when I get my referral bonus, so it pays for the.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
So I can actually afford the dinner. I'm
Yeah,
about to
exactly.
buy.
No, I'm so happy to be working with Pete. He's the man. And it's so great to be playing with all of you fine men as a collective.
We back. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's good to have everyone here. Styx, if you would be so kind and fill us in with a nice, healthy recap of last week. And then we can jump into Irilon, the Approaching Storm, session 38.
Is it really?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. We've been
38.
playing for 10, 11 months,
months.
and we have
Started in January. So
we're either at or just over 100 hours of content.
that's a lot.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
That's a lot.
If we're doing 3-4 hour sessions.
it's
Imagine it was a TV show, and there was hour episodes. It'd be 100 episodes.
it's pretty wild.
We'd be syndicated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Put that in the title. Twitch's first syndicated D&D show.
No.
Well, no, we
not.
wouldn't. I mean, there's
Closed captioning brought to you by Reese's. Buy one.
I mean,
We've played as much D&D as I've played No Man's Sky.
Oh, No Man's Sky.
I
All
like
right.
Nominski.
Yeah, I guess it's apparently it's okay now. All right. Let's hear that recap, sir.
Oh, Jesus, here we go. This is a dense one, chat. We started last week with Aaron and Kale going to New Harbor to try and get Aaron some, like, majority, or not majority control, but just basically some more control over the family business of Anders Shipping to get some of the ships, to armor them out, to help out in the fight against the Necromancer and his Drow pirate organization. So they went. They met up with Aaron's cousin. What was it? Darian? No, Dorian. I knew it was something. with
Dorian
a D in
Anders.
there. Dorian Anders, who
Yes, sir.
is the majority shareholder, if you will. He is the
60% shareholder.
Yeah, he owns Anders Shipping for the most part. But before they left, Ilmar signed over her last shares that she even probably forgot she even had. Not that she cares about money. Over to to Mr. Aaron. So then he came in and said, "Hey, as the next highest guy in the business, this is what I want to do." And they made some good headway. They got along. You know, Dorian was like, "Yeah, this is a serious problem. You know what? I'll do it. That's fine." And after some schmoozing and then schmoozing again with the magistrate of New Harbor, you guys were able to secure help and more funding through an amazing persuasion check from Kale for your project as well. After that, you guys decided it would be a good idea to swing by the Segregation Order. And what was that for? For information, I want to say. See what
Information
they
and
knew.
backing, right?
Yeah.
From,
Yeah, from an old friend, Solomon, the head of the Segregation Order. Yeah. So they went, they got information, and then Solomon reminded Kale of a tome that they had received, an evil tome that they had recovered for Magister Alistair and Winton a long time ago that had knowledge and information about Atropus and ways to possibly destroy it in it. The Book of Vile Darkness. And so they went to retrieve this hideous tome from Magister Alistair, but he was, unfortunately, under the influences of a mind-controlling spell, which eventually broke his mind. They were able to retrieve said tome, come back to the house, where Kale decided it was in the best interest of everyone that he be the one to attune to and read the tome. And that is kind of where we left off.
No, what happened was Aaron was about to grab it and read it, and then Kale suddenly grabbed it.
ninja'd the shit out of it.
He was using Mage Hand to pull it toward him, and Kale grabbed it out of the air.
Out of the air.
Yeah. So
I remember.
yeah, that's how that went down. And now he's locked in the room, in the study,
But
just getting DoorDash for the next week to the study.
Undead servants bringing him food.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way, if he cuts off their heads, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I mean?
While the other folks are doing their missions, can Aaron do downtime?
Sure.
Aaron wants to just start studying on how to do a ritual on to contact the Raven Queen. He doesn't want to do it this session or anytime soon. He just wants to start learning about how to contact the Raven Queen, because with Kale reading the Book of Vile Darkness and the shit just going crazy, he's thinking that it might be time to ask for more help, and he's feeling a little desperate. So I guess he would just want to spend some time reading and just doing research on how to do a ritual to contact the Raven Queen someday, whenever he's ready. That's what he's doing over the next few days or whatever.
All right. Let's see. Interesting. All right. Let's see. For research, I have a downtime thing for this, actually. It is going to require some resources from you.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get up to 6 +1s that each cost 100 gold pieces.
6 plus what?
+1s to your roll that
Oh,
you're going to
okay.
make.
Okay.
So if you want to spend 600 gold to get +6, you can. And then you will make an intelligence check and add however much you decide to spend to it, right? So
I'll spend 600 gold.
Okay.
What am I rolling?
intelligence, and then you're adding 6 to the score.
Well, there you go.
Great. Hey, you're gonna learn one useful piece of lore.
There we go.
Thank
Okay.
God you spent the money, otherwise you would have learned nothing. So,
Maybe I finally find the right dusty parchment somewhere in the house.
oh yeah, definitely. Like
Maybe
this
that's
would
what
count as your
happens.
library and study space,
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
And I think oh, this is gonna be funny. I think the only thing you discover is the old school weird ass ritual that Runon used to try and do, which is like a blood sacrifice, like or blood offering ritual of the very old school like Raven Queen cults from like thousands of years ago when humans first started contacting her. Of course, this is all kind of moot because you're related to someone who literally is like a direct descendant of the Raven Queen. Um, so you have a couple of ways. You can try and do this ridiculous ritual that does have a possibility of working. I mean, it is recorded to have worked, but it is less reliable, perhaps, than maybe just seeing if your mother knows a way to contact your great 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 grandmother. So
All right. Well, that's what Aaron has spent the last several days doing. So we can get to the other folks now. Sorry.
all right, Kale, I assume you're still reading the book.
I am. I'm in the study, sleeping on the couch, reading the book. If anybody even tries to bother me, I just shout, or I either don't say anything, or if they're insistent, I shout at them to fuck off in a kindly manner.
All right, well, I'm going to officially give you the spell now. The apocalypse from the sky. You do read about that.
Huh.
And so you have that in your repertoire if you decide to be a fucking psychotic genocidal maniac. You may use that spell.
Wow.
For those in chat who don't know it, Apocalypse from the Sky is a 9th level necromancy spell. It takes 24 hours to cast. It has a 100-mile radius. It requires a bottle of angel tears. And you use part of your own life force to perform this vile ritual. You take 20d6 necrotic damage that cannot be prevented or reduced in any way. Then each non-undead creature other than you, if you happen to be undead, within 100 miles of you takes 10d6 necrotic damage. Meaning for most city dwellers or NPCs, that would literally annihilate an entire city. So
100 miles. Try
miles?
several, maybe a couple
several
of
cities.
maybe like a few
Yeah.
villages.
Depends
and
where
a
you
city.
are on the
Yeah.
map. Yes. Yeah. It would decimate an area of the map of life. So, yeah. So there's that evil, vile spell of gnarliness. And I think the next time you look in a mirror, you start to notice that your eyes start turning black. Kind of like Ilmar's eyes and kind of like the Raven Queen's eyes. Which is kind of interesting. But,
Cool.
I think that is going to be your disfigurement
Wow.
from reading the book. So
That's sick.
Oh, nice.
Like what? Like black like onyx stones in his head.
yeah, pretty much.
That's cool.
That is pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right.
Yep. Let's see. True. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Like like Ilmar's got the fucking she's got the black eyes. It's like that.
Nice. Look. Cool.
Creepy.
It's kind of creepy.
Like it.
All right. And then I think after we see those two scenes, if this were a TV show, the camera would pan and we would look down on the streets of Barrowton. A city we have not been in for quite some time. It's been a hot minute. And I think we will take Mr. Shu. Can you describe what you're wearing when you get zapped into the
What shoe?
town?
Yeah, shoes. Well, I suppose that depends on if Shu would have had the opportunity to sort of like access a chest of drawers or something in the manor we just came from. But
Definitely.
shoes. Oh, he would have.
Yeah, I think so.
Then Shu prefers flowy, sort of loose fitting stuff. So like sort of silks and canvases kind of stuff, especially yeah, I would say his clothing is sort of loosely fitted, um, but not like overly ostentatious, just something that flows very comfortably. He's almost got if you imagine the medieval form of streetwear, kinda. He's
Sure.
got that kind of shit on. Boots cinched, if he had, yeah, a new pair of boots cinched very tightly around his ankles, and probably some sort of open collar, with no sleeves. If there were sleeves on the garment he has on his torso, he ripped them off.
Okay.
He's
Excellent.
also probably wearing mostly grays and teals, or like dark, deep green blues.
Okay. You find yourself teleported to a rather nice house. It's up on a hill. There's lots of wood paneling in the room you ended up in, and books, and nice couches. Um, there's a nice armoire and a desk, and there's a pitcher with water and several cups on a tray in this room that you are in. The floor is black and white marble. And yeah, you find yourself in a very nice manner.
First thing
Um,
Shu does is conceal himself then, or at least like case the joint and try to like immediately find a way to conceal himself.
I was gonna say the audience recognizes this as Joran's house, but you might not know that.
Yeah.
So that's fine. You may conceal yourself.
Okay. Do I need to roll?
I'm not gonna say you need to roll because the
Okay.
house is empty, but you don't know that. So
Then I like find a closet or like slide under one of the pieces of furniture.
okay. What do you
And
do after that?
from the concealed position, I Shu like basically cases the room, sort of like looking for items of value and immediately like finding the closest way out.
Items of value. I mean, there's random. This is a very nice outfitted manor, right? So there's items of value everywhere you look.
Okay.
Ways out, there are plenty of those too. All the doors that you look at, aside from a few in the hallways, are open, providing easy access to a main stairwell that goes down to a nice atrium and a front door, which is closed.
Okay. Then Shu's gonna cautiously move towards the front door, looking out for and listening carefully for anybody moving through the building.
You hear nothing.
Okay, then cautiously approach the front door and attempt to just let myself out the front.
Okay. As you move out the front, you kind of see. I don't know if this zeroes you into where you are on the map. I can't remember, but you look out and you see kind of this small neighborhood that you're in. It's completely walled off. There are several decently large houses, though the one you're out front of is the largest. In the center of a square, you see numerous shops surrounded by or surrounding this giant magical looking orb in the middle, some sort of monument. And yeah, that's pretty much what you see. Your
Okay.
contact, you were told, is somewhere in this market district to the northwest of you.
Okay. And looking around, is there like any sort of like uniformed guard or anything like that? Is there like a peace officer or any sort of like figure of authority that I can
Oh yeah, I
recognize
mean,
immediately?
there's a gatehouse right here in the walled section of the town, so I mean, there's definitely going to be guards over there.
Okay, Shu is gonna look out and sort of can I see like people all over the square?
Yeah, Yeah, there's a good amount of people out. Some people going in and out of shops, things of that nature.
Okay. I'm going to look for at like a shopkeeper. What looks like a not too ostentatiously dressed shopkeeper, and then cast minor illusion on myself to copy that person.
Okay.
So I just look basically just immediately. I think that's right. Immediately resemble that guy. Let me see.
Right.
Yeah, and then move towards the gatehouse.
I mean, you could do that, or you could do disguise self. Either one would work.
Yeah.
Make a
Oh
difference.
yeah, that's right. Actually, let me do disguise self then. We'll just do that.
Okay. Okay. Wonderful.
Cool. And then I move towards immediately move towards the gatehouse.
Okay.
Kind of like awkwardly feigning sort of like a socially acceptable smile facial expression at people as I pass them.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one seems to notice really. Um, you know,
Okay.
as
And
you walk on by.
can I move through the gatehouse like as I try to move it? Am I allowed to just walk through like the gate
Well,
is
yeah,
open?
the gate's open. They're not like sealed off or anything. So, do you want to move toward the markets area?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I do. Yep.
Okay. Great. So we'll move you over there.
Okay.
You never stayed here, but I think Jordan would have given you a brief rundown of like what to expect, of like points of interest in the city, to help you navigate. There's a very nice inn called the Moon and Scythe that is right here, where our players have stayed in the past, but you've never been here, but he tells you of that place. There is the Grand Mausoleum, which is here, which is where all the dead former rulers and nobles and everybody of note is kind of interred in Barroton. There's the Mage's Quarter where you just came from, and that is where Jordan's house is. You would have been told about the Helkin compound, which is over here on this island, which is where Kale was kind of raised and spent most of his childhood and all that, and where a lot of his family resides. And then, of course, the Great Barrows on this island. This is where the temples to Kelemvor and Jurgal are. This is where most of the dead are buried here, and it's a lot. Each one of these little dots is a little like mausoleum that goes underground and has
Sure.
lots of dead buried in them, as well as several larger mausoleums as well. Then there's also the castle, where the House Graves rules Barroton from, as well as the armies are stationed well within the castled island on all these areas. It's a rather large force as well. And yeah, all the gates. There's a north gate, there's a west gate, there's an east gate, and there's a south gate.
Sure.
And then the main town guard barracks is also in the southwestern quadrant of the city.
See that? Yeah, Shu will stay far away from that point if he can. Just by his own nature. Let me remind me. In the briefing I got, where is my contact?
Your contact is in here. Her name is Verona. She owns a leatherworking, what is now probably a shop rather than just a tent or a stall out front. But what your contacts have told you is that this is where this is like a front for a lot of like, where you would use your thieves' cant and things like that. This is like, closest thing to a thieves guild that there is right now. It's a collection of dock workers and what are they called? Porters that all work in this area, and they work for her and they gain information and they use it in ways to leverage things. But yeah, so
Yeah, and remind me. Just give me the top level, like in your own words. Restate the mission again. The Shu mission I was sent here for.
So the mission is to talk to Verona and see what's going on with Kyra, who is this new priest in the Order of Kelemvor, who is rising to popularity. And there's been some disturbing rumors about things that she's been saying and doing that don't really fit well with what people know about the Temple and Order of Kelemvor, which the Order of Kelemvor is really there to see that when people die, that they are interred properly and taken care of, so that they may meet with Kelemvor and be sent to the afterlife that they deserve. Right.
Sure.
So, yeah, things going against this, and that's like the main religion here in Barrowton. Like that is like what they're about. So that being off script and not being widely panicked about is very strange. So, yeah, finding out
Gotcha.
more about this Kyra individual is probably the main thing.
Okay, I think Shu is just gonna sort of, with his disguise up, is just gonna start sort of wandering, like, sort of casually wandering throughout this marketplace, attempting to identify leatherworking businesses that are run by that have prominent women
Right.
in them, and definitely looking for any, like, being sort of on keeping his head on a swivel, looking for any like thieves markings, like any sort of like out of the way markings that would have been painted on walls or left, where your common person wouldn't recognize, but somebody trained to look for them would notice.
Where is she?
Just on the
Uh,
south. Right now, I'm standing on the south end of this marketplace here.
There
Those
we
little
are. tokens
tokens right there.
Oh, that's a tiny token. I didn't see it.
Yeah. Gotta zoom in. Yes. Hold on 1 second. And so you're looking around the market, you said?
Yeah, just sort of wandering. I mean, like, just seriously strolling through the marketplace, looking, head on a swivel, looking for something that would match the description of this
Yeah.
leatherworking business.
I think right on this outside ring, this little green building, right here, you notice a sign that says Duskoth Leather Supply.
Okay.
And it looks rather nice on the outside. Though the writing has faded from the sign, maybe that's intentional. It looks like a rather reputable establishment. You see lots of like dock workers and laborers running in and out of this place all the time with like carts and packages and things like that. The other thing you probably noticed while you were walking here and crossing bridges, there's lots of water. There's tons of islands everywhere, and there are boats going up and down the islands like gondolas and ferries that are bringing people to and from different parts of the city. Hence all the dock workers and laborers and the like. So yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna wander casually, sort of wander past the entrance a few times, just taking things in, and then just kind of, play naturally, kind of stroll in and just start looking at wares, and sort of case who's actually in this joint, or who appears to be like actually minding the place.
Can you make me a perception check really quick?
Yeah, of course. Perception. I always forget where to. Like, there we go. Okay. $19.
All right. With a 19, you see someone on the upper balcony of this building. Like there's an open floor with all the goods, and then like a counter where you would purchase, and then there's a staircase that goes up above that, and there is sort of this like balcony with a look down from it. And from the top, you see an elven woman. She is a wood elf, and she looks like this. Well, I mean, we're all zoomed in, but she has green eyes, dark hair, sort of olive color skin. And she is kind of looking down. And when you look up, do you make eye contact with her, or do you try and like look up like you're not noticing?
At first, like, I'm not noticing, and then notice, like, when I realize that she's looking down, kind of watching, I do, like, she locks eyes with her and sort of stands there for, like, looking straight at her for a second, sort of to sort of make himself obvious, and
Right.
then he makes like a peace sign with his two fingers
Mhm.
and taps them to his eyebrows twice, tap tap, and then runs the tip of his pointer finger from the bridge of his nose down to the end, and then puts his hands into his pockets and just continues to look at her.
Okay. She kind of looks back. She nods at you and then turns around and walks away.
Is there a staircase or a ladder up to where she is?
There's a staircase, yeah, to the side of the floor.
Okay, so she was gonna cast one look around the space and then kind of follow her up the stairs.
Okay.
As he does it, actually, as Shu walks up the stairs, he casts Shadow Blade and holds the Shadow Blade under his. Oh, I'm not rolling damage. I'm just casting the Shadow Blade. I'm holding Shadow Blade under the blade under my robes or under my clothing.
Very nice. Okay.
Okay, so I get up to the top, and what do I see at the top of the stairs?
You see at the top of the stairs, that there is like a slim walkway, and then there is an area that has like a bunch of crates and other storage stuff up there. And then there is a room off to the end with a door with sort of a slot in it. And the
she's not.
door, no, the door appears to be a little open, and she's not up there.
Okay. Looking around again, moving carefully, but yeah, like looking, head on a swivel, he moves across the space to the door. And then I would say carefully knocks twice on it.
Okay. You hear a voice say, "Come in."
Okay. Yeah, and then just quietly opens it and slides in. Only opens it as wide as he has to sort of slide his body through the opening, and then closes the door as behind him as he enters the room.
Nice. I think when you come in, you see two of her. One is sitting at a desk, and the other one is standing by a window. And they both look at you, and one of them says, "So I see you found your way."
Mutual friend sent me. Which of
The
you
other
two
one,
is the real you?
that is for me to know.
Okay. Shu
The other
faces the
copy
sitting one.
chuckles.
Yeah,
The other
yeah.
copy chuckles. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she was addressing the sitting one, but he passes the shadow blade to the hand closest to the standing one.
What do? You pass your blade to her? Like
Yeah, because I have my hands under my
I got it.
under my shroud. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'm holding my knife towards the standing one underneath.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the one sitting down says, "I don't think there will be any need for that." And then she waves her hand, and the one at the window disappears.
Ah,
And
okay.
she goes like, and then she goes, "Just a
When
test."
Okay, when she does that, Shu actually pulls the non-threateningly pulls the hand holding the shadow blade out of his robe or out of the shroud he's wearing, and kind of opens his hand, and the blade dissipates into the air. It kind of
Yep.
yeah, disapparates.
Okay. She kind of looks at you and goes, "Mutual friend. Who would that be?"
I don't want to say names out loud, but he said there's some kind of priest here building a following, and she shouldn't be.
Intriguing.
I was sent to address her as a threat and to bring back anything you can share to my people.
Is that so?
How can I help?
This wouldn't have to do anything with the trouble in the sky, would it?
Have there been sightings of things flying over? So you know I was there when the city died. The city of my birth. In the desert.
I'm going to assume yes, then. And then she stands, and she says, if that is the case, you were then sent by Joran, possibly Kale.
Solemn nod.
And they want information.
They want to know anything. We want to know anything that we can that might help us stop what's coming. If we don't, this city will be like the one I was born in. A crater of death.
You see her pause for a moment, and her eyes kind of roll back into the back of her head. Kale, your studying of the book is interrupted by a familiar voice of Verona asking you, did you send someone to meet with me?
Yes, did he not explain that? He's kind of an asshole, but help him.
And then she chuckles in your mind in response, and then Shu, her eyes roll back into the front, and then she goes, all right, very well, what do you wish to know?
Anything that you know about this priest and the people following her.
Yes, she is a problem, I think. I have a bad feeling about her.
Kale mentioned something about all the dead here being concentrated in one place. Think you know as well as I do that that could be a real problem.
Several places, as a matter of fact, but yes. Barraton was a city built on top of a graveyard from a battle fought long ago. There are more dead than there are marked, if you catch my meaning. Yes, that has worried me as well, which is why I've been keeping an eye out and an ear to the ground for
You're
any
standing on the
whisperings of the necromancer.
You're standing on the makings of an enemy army that will eat you alive.
We are well aware. So is House Helken, at least. I have told them as much. Whether the rest believe as verily as Kale does is an entirely different story.
So what does this soothsayer have to do with the greater threat? Is she bringing them here?
She is an evil priestess. I think she works to bring the anomaly in the sky closer, which in turn makes the necromancer stronger.
Can she be gotten to?
I think so.
Can
Are you
she be gotten to
feeling
by an
bold?
individual? I'm feeling prepared. I'm feeling like there's not much other choice.
There are a few choices, but I shall give you a task that will not be mortally devastating should you fail.
I don't have much left to lose at this point, so assign me what you will and we'll see if we can make it happen.
You seem able to change your appearance. Yes? Correct me if I'm wrong. I am
Yeah.
a priestess of the goddess of tricksters, so I like to think I know this ability better than most.
I think Shu actually I think he's been assuming that she can see through the disguise self at this point, but just as a sort of as a matter of politeness and sort of demonstratively, he also dispels his own disguise self.
She looks at you and she goes, I haven't seen anyone quite like you before.
You could say I have a gift for being in places that I shouldn't.
Wonderful. Well, the priestess Kyra, she is, by my witnesses and by my agents, is somewhat of a necromantic priest, though she has fooled the entire church of Kellamvor.
I don't much go in for your religion and all the, you know, the giant players that you seem to claim are making us dance around like little puppets. But there does seem to be quite a lot of money and power concentrated in your church.
That's interesting. The church does not have as much power as the nobility in this city, but that could change if she gets her way. I'm asking you to infiltrate the Grand Mausoleum to find Priestess Kyra and to learn any information that you possibly can. I would not strike out against her, not alone. She will destroy you if you do this.
All right then. How do I get there?
She unrolls a map on her desk and points to the Grand Mausoleum, this giant fucking cathedral thing that you probably saw from the hill at Joran's. You probably saw the spire jutting into the sky of this colossal building.
Mm-hmm.
She says, gaining entry will not be terribly easy, but you have a knack for looking like others. If you could find someone who enters in and out, you might be able to dispatch them or otherwise make them unavailable for a time and gain entry that way.
She's there all the time. Does she ever leave? Does she wander through the town? Guarded or unguarded?
No. She stays on that island. She dares not leave. The Helkins have been watching her like a hawk.
Are there is there military force there? Does she have armed guards?
Military, no. Practitioners in death magics, yes. And she herself is very formidable. No guard or singular member of any order would stand a chance to her.
I'll get as close as I can. Do I come back to you when I'm finished, or can I return straight to my friends?
I would return to your friends. I am trying to make it seem like I am not involved in this in any way, shape, or form. I'd prefer that we don't speak again unless at great need.
Then this will be our last words. Thank you.
She nods. Before you leave, she kind of reaches out to you and says, I want you to take something.
Solemn nod.
She kind of turns around and unlocks sort of this armoire, a curio cabinet, if you will. And she kind of she's like fumbling around in there looking for something. And she then stops and she walks up to you and she hands you a hollow metal tube. It's about 1 foot long and weighs about 1 pound. And she says, if you find something that is locked, this shall open it. Strike it once with the pin, and it will work. She hands you a chime of opening, which you can add to your character sheet.
Excellent. Sort of, he makes meaningful eye contact with her and just nods. And then sort of turns on his heel and strides out.
She says, be careful when you use that. It does make noise, but it will get you out of a situation you may be locked in.
I appreciate your help.
She nods.
And I think Shu wants to not be here anymore and basically just strides out of the building and starts heading south.
Okay. And I think there we are going to have our first wipe away from Shu walking out with his
Star wipe.
his new toy and we are going to
Awesome.
we are then going to go zoom out. All right. All the way up to the northern mountains of the Varenhold,
Nice.
where I think we see two small figures walking up the road toward the grand entrance of the Varenhold. These large dwarven gates, after going up switchback paths, crossing over many bridges, we see Bobbity and we see Bogdan marching toward the giant dwarven gates of the Varenhold. You guys have probably been traveling from High Point, so it's probably been a few days at this point that you've been on the relatively safe roads, the Varenhold. A little sketchy around Morningstar Keep, or what used to be that, but you are now finishing your trip up to what was the home of Corin and Varen Stonemantle, and the others. At least Bobbity helped in the liberation of Cragmaw Delve. So
Yeah. I guess as we're walking up, Bobbity would look to Bogdan. Bogdan, have you been here before?
Yeah, I'll kind of like be like, no, I don't associate with these mountain dwellers very much. We were never a huge fan of them. Always a little grumpy.
Sticks, how long has it been since we've been here? Since I've been here?
oh man, it's been
Too long.
several God, man, it's probably been like 6 months and a death of a royal family member since.
Yeah. There was a good reason we didn't return here, so I'm glad we have a good reason as to why we are returning. Don't think they'll be too happy to see me.
Mountain dwarves are never happy.
Bobby's gonna reach into the bag and hand you that bottle, by the way. Say, you might want this.
Yeah, I kind of like pop the top open and like smell it to see if it's like alcohol or like what does this look like?
Hmm?
What bottle is this?
No, the alcohol you gave me. That you wanted to gift them?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just said okay. Never mind.
My bad.
That never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. The like shiny, like green, like Gucci whiskey.
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah.
super expensive
Okay,
stuff.
yeah. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, I'll just kind of hold on to that. I'll stuff that into like a nice secure pocket in my backpack.
And then Bobby's gonna like stop you real quick and say, before we enter, he's gonna hand you this bottle that's, what does it look like? It basically looks like liquefied iron. He's gonna hand you it and he's gonna say, if you need this, drink it, but only if you need it.
I'll kind of
He's
hold it
gonna
up to my face and twirl it around. Like how you would like spin like wine in like a bottle, like kind of doing that, trying to see
Sure,
what
yeah,
it
you like
is.
swish it around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a syrupy consistency too.
I'll just be like, what is it?
It's a potion of invulnerability. I only have this and another one for me, so like I said, only if you need it. But as a just in case. Not saying they're going to attack us, but we never know what can attack us at this point.
And that's like one sip of it, or is it like
It's the whole
multiple
thing.
charges, or is it
The whole thing, it's one go.
Yeah, you
Okay.
could
Consume on use.
Yeah, it's just potion of invulnerability. You could add it
Yeah.
in D&D.
Yeah, I'll thank you for it and just kind of I'll ask you. I'll be like, Bobbity, is it those weird people that live down the road? kind of where the road started getting a little dangerous. What happened to him? I remember seeing a bunch of like shirtless dudes last time I was over here, like all moving transports and seemed to have good relations with people. What happened? Why?
The Morning Stars?
Like, are those the strange folk who live up on the mountain?
I only knew two of them in my life, but they were good people. As far as I heard, they were what happened, Sticks?
Annihilated
Yeah,
would be
they
Weren't
got
you with,
sacked, right?
weren't you with them?
Gorm?
No, but he doesn't know that the entire clan got like.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Well,
I only know
that's
what
recent
Gorm told me.
knowledge. Yeah, exactly. It's
Right.
recent knowledge that they were all obliterated.
Right.
So yeah, I am not too sure what happened, but like what exactly. But as far as Gorm told me, it was the end of them.
Yeah, this is like, it's sad to hear. It's when I got exiled from. What is the? Oh, when I got exiled from Thunderbrow Ridge. Several of them helped me get through some of the mountain passes. Without them, I don't think I'd be here today. What a tragedy. So let's like keep walking on up to Varenhold.
Okay. So as you guys make your way up, you start to cross a giant drawbridge that goes over a chasm, and then you see these large stone gates that are carved out of the front of the mountain, very typical dwarf fashion. One of the doors is open, a giant door that's like absurdly tall, and there are some guards out front, and one of them breaks off from his conversation, starts walking to you, and he goes, "Alt, what are you doing here?"
We have business with your king
"Who you know?"
regarding end of the world, shall I say? We'll leave it at that.
Make a persuasion check.
Case guidance.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, he looks at you and he goes, Well, my lord's mind has been drawn toward such things ever since he was helped at Cragmaw Delve by a group of people. But he's also been somber with the loss of his brother. I shall take you. I only hope that it won't cost me my life. And he turns and starts leading you into the vast holding of the Varenhold. The last time you were here, Bobbity, you and Runon were in a fucking festival drinking your faces off,
Yeah.
and everybody else was in here celebrating the reclamation of Cragmaw Dell for the Cragmaws of the mountain dwarves. And you did hear recent news that I don't know how long ago or when exactly I told you this, but I know I told you guys this, that the old king of the mountain dwarves recently passed away, and that the guy who helped you fight off hobgoblins and went with you to Cragmaw Delve, he's the king now. His name is Varen Stonemantle the Fifth, or something crazy like that. He's like he's the latest in a long line of dwarves to bear that name.
Wow, it's been so long since
Yeah.
we've seen him.
Yeah, it's been a long time. And I do have a picture of him for chat,
Okay.
though. Where is he? Here he is. Looks like that.
Mm-hmm.
High
Big
quality
old-
picture.
He's a big
Yes,
old dwarf
super high
boy.
res.
Looks awesome.
Super high res. Yeah. So when you get taken into this throne room,
Can
you
put
see.
him back up?
Sure.
Thanks.
Why not? So you walk into the throne room. You see this dwarf. He's probably got a little more gray in his beard, from the stress. But he's wearing a crown. And he's like whispering to an advisor. And then the guard says, my lord Theron, these men are here to see you. They said that we are nigh to the world's end, and that they
I'll interrupt
request
him.
your.
I'll interrupt him and just say, you can scurry along. I have it from here. Varen, and I'm like slowly walking up, like very slowly. It has been
Yeah.
too long, and I never got to wish you condolences for your brother's death.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna bow.
Yeah. I think he recognizes you, and he says, "Ah, yes, my friend. It has been a while, and much has happened. And while you are here to speak on such things, is it not true that you were there for my brother's passing?"
I could not save him, nor protect him, for that matter.
Though I hear you are responsible for his body being returned to us.
I am.
It is a good deed. But I imagine you did not come here to just exchange pleasantries.
Unfortunately not. Are you aware of this world's current fate?
I heard a word or two from your companions, I think.
Allow
But
me
nothing in
to-
great detail.
Allow me to give you that detail. May I
He nods.
approach and my friend here?
Yes, but I ask that you instead sit at my table. And then he stands and he says, "Come with me." And then some guards motion to him and he waves them off rather angrily.
Okay.
And he says, "We are in no danger here." And then he walks further on into a side room that is kind of like an ensuite, if you will. It's got like a table, some chairs. There's brewery kegs lined up that are all tapped. And he sits you down and offers you seats. And then he sits. And then he snaps, and one of his servants comes up and puts several of the small little wooden shot glass type things in front of you. Like you use, Bogdan. And a nice clear bottle full of brown liquid that you would recognize from the festival shows up. And he says, "This is the good stuff." And he pulls the cork out with his teeth and pours for everybody. And before he will talk any further, he raises his glass to all of you and says, "To those we have lost," and then raises it up.
Yeah, I'll
And then-
raise. I'll raise my glass and kind of whisper some stuff about my brother.
Yeah.
Slab under my breath.
Yeah. And then he knocks back the glass, slams it on the table.
Yeah,
And
Bobby
then
joins.
and then he fills you guys up again. And then he says, "Now that we've exchanged a proper greeting, what more do you have to tell me?"
You might want a few more of those. And then I'm gonna start going. I'll just start lore dumping for him, Start going into Atropus. I'll take
Yeah,
out like the constellation discs.
I kind of want to hear how Bobby would say this though.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit of a, you don't have to go into insane detail, but
Mhm.
you can just tell me how you would approach it, Cuz he knows everything up until, I mean, he would have heard about his brother's death, but he doesn't understand it. So maybe that's a good starting point,
Yeah.
too, as well. But
Yeah, I suppose I suppose we would start with Corin then.
Yeah.
Corin was helping us, as you know, with tracking down Lord Thrax at the time, who we believed would have been our evil, like, big bad man, you know? As it turns out, we were overcome with emotion when we ran across Thrax, and the party did not think through our actions, and we fought valiantly, but nobody could have expected Thrax having support of such higher evils.
He nods and takes another drink.
Bobby joins him.
Yeah. He says, yes. When his body returned to us, it was though it had already been dead for quite some time, which was unusual.
Yes.
But
Wow.
if what you say is true, and they have powers of necromancy and control of the undead,
Oh,
I don't understand what can be done.
if only it were just that. I feel the powers that we are discussing are beyond our comprehension. The scale of which I witnessed in the desert in Kem, it's nothing I've even dreamt of, nothing I've even had nightmares of. This power is, I don't know. Bobby takes another shot.
Yeah. A whole city, you say? Wiped off the face of the earth.
In an instant.
He just stares silently. And then he kind of looks over, he takes a drink and then looks over at Bogdan and he says, and what of your companion here? You say you just met in the desert, but have you seen tales of grandeur and destruction?
I'll just kind of I'll look at him, give him the 1,000-yard stare, and I'm gonna present the nice, very nice bottle of dwarvish whiskey,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna pour him a glass and be like, "Yes, I've seen a whole city destroyed. My brother potentially among them. It is
Yes.
very real. And if you should, when you say you're in no danger here, you were you were gravely mistaken."
He nods. Yeah.
I'll tell him like tales of like the flying creature
Yeah.
in the city that like we were like the party was seeing.
Oh, like the general.
The tales of like the undead rising, all that fun stuff.
Right. Right.
Like
Yeah.
there's horrors happening now that we never thought possible. These kind folk seem to know a lot more than I do, but if they're telling you that the world's going to hell in a handbasket, you should believe them.
I believe it. I only wanted your accounts to confirm what I know. The undead pour forth from Morningstar Keep. After it was destroyed by Dragonfire, I thought this was impossible. Those who used to protect the roads now kill anything that moves on them. Surprised you escaped unscathed. Must have been your lucky day.
Luck, no. Vigilance. We're very, very vigilant.
Believe it. For those who have seen such horrors as you, I can believe that. But why have you come here? To regale me with tales? Or do you require something of me?
I'll
Or was
look
it
him
just...
Oh, sorry, finish.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna kind of like when he's saying that, I was kind of look him dead in the eye and just be like, I know our people haven't always had the best of relations, hill dwarf and mountain dwarf, but now is the time for dwarves to band together, and we need to put our differences aside, and we are formally requesting your help in aiding our fight against the horrors that besiege our world.
He
I don't
kind of
have
looks at. He
I don't
kind of
have a
looks at you.
I don't have a grand speech. I don't have money. So all I have is I can promise you that you'll be fighting beside worthy warriors, and you can have the rest of that fine bottle of whiskey.
Kind of picks up the whiskey and he looks at it and he raises his eyebrows and he says, "The old Thunderbrow Reserve. Well, it's been a long time since I've seen a bottle of that. It may not seem like much, but that means quite a bit. And I think you are right. It's been too long since we spoke to our brothers in the East. You know, they say that all the dwarves were one tribe one time, that we split off from our differences. But you can call me crazy if I say this, and I say it with true meaning, that I think our differences make us better and stronger. What would you have me do? Speak to Lord Thunderbrow under his hill? I will do it if you ask it."
I'll kind of look at him and say, well, me and Bobbity here we were on our way east after we leave here. What if you rode with us?
He starts chuckling and he says, "I knew it, Bobbity. You just wanted to go on one last adventure together."
Hmm.
And he
You've
kind of
got me.
pounds the table and starts chuckling. And then he grabs the bottle, the green bottle, and opens it up again and pours everyone else a glass. And he says, "Well, it looks like we better get accustomed to the rules and regulations of Thunderbrow, huh?" And he slams the bottle down and starts drinking again.
I will I'll probably take this moment and kind of just say, well, I was hoping we could ride to Thunderbrow and meet them as equals, because much like you, I'm not very welcome there myself. And I'll just kind of like take that time to like explain I was a little troublemaker, and when I came of age, I was given the choice of like basically spending all my time in like a like prison mines, or like being exiled and eventually finding my way to a monastery.
Right. Okay.
Like this, so they have like that history. It's not like we're gonna be rocking up and we're like rock stars. Like people there that remember me probably won't like me. There might be some, but there might be.
He kind of
that
pats
like
you,
me.
he reaches across the table and patches you on the shoulder, and he says, "If they give you any trouble while I'm there, they're in for a rude awakening." He kind of winks at Bobbity.
Hmm.
Because Bobbity probably remembers this guy tearing shit
Yeah.
up under the mountain. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of like looking him over. I'm like, yes, you seem like a formidable foe. Hopefully, it doesn't come down to that. It's
I doubt it will. Most dwarves are just talk.
prefer we meet them as equals.
As long as we bring them drink, they will have nothing to argue with us about.
Yes. And I wish that was the source of our problems, but there are also stems traveling across the plains. You know of the riders who live in those lands, traveling from north to south, doing their strange rituals.
Also, I've heard rumors. I don't know that I necessarily ever encountered many of them, because when Bogdan was exiled out of Thunderbro, I was
Mhm.
like moving by night, sleeping by day, like being like super careful. So I don't think I ever encountered any. Actually, I didn't encounter any, but I've heard of them. So I'll probably
Yeah, anyone who grew up in Thunderbrow Ridge would know this.
Yeah.
The Sagittary, the bowmen on horseback who ride from north to south.
I'll
They're
I'll
the,
press him for I'll actually press him for more information. because I've heard the rumors, but never actually had an encounter.
Mm-hmm. What do you want to know?
I kind of really, I'm just kind of like, wait, those are like those rumors and stories were true, and
Yeah, he kind of nods and he says, yes. In the past, they used to raid caravans that went across. They do less of the raiding these days. But they do a lot of fighting. A lot of it from horseback, from what they say. They're born to the saddle. They're the best riders in all the land. A mystical folk, though. Very superstitious.
kind of like let out like a low sigh. It's like, well, I think with the three of us, they shouldn't present much of a problem. I'll just look back at, I'll look at Bobbity and, what's this dude's name again? It's not
Varin.
Varn. So I'll look at Bobbity and Varn. Let's be like, when do y'all wanna set out for Thunderbrow?
I think tomorrow. I think you get a nice rest and some good dwarven hospitality for an evening. And then we set out.
I'll ask him about some of his fine, like where I could find the finest mountain dwarf ladies. I need the thickest beards. I need the nicest drink.
I get you. He probably tells you about the bar that, Runan had his carousing that led to him organizing a festival. So, I think he tells you about that bar in the, sort of like the commoner district that's been known for a raucous good time. So,
Yeah, I guess I'll just kind of make my way there. Or actually, before I leave, I'll ask him. I'll ask Varn. I'm like, so, do you have a favorite there? Is there someone you think I should patron?
he kind of shakes his head and he's like, it was never really my thing. But I'm sure you'll do just fine with whoever you pick.
I mean, I'll take my. Bogdan will nod and ask to be excused, and he's taking his 70 gold. And he's going to go spend it like it's his last night on Earth because, damn, he is not excited to be back at Thunderbrow.
Okay. All right. All right. All right, Bobbity, is there anything else you want to say?
Wait, back at Thunderbrow. Not excited to be back? What do you mean?
No, we're heading.
Oh, dude, I got exiled from there. I don't want to go back.
You're not excited to go back. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We're still in Varenhold.
Yeah, I've been listening. I had to go to the door. My food's here, so I was listening on my phone.
Let's see.
Okay. I don't think Bobby has anything left to say. I think he's just gonna wish Varn a good night, get a good rest, and he's gonna go meditate and go to sleep.
Okay. Awesome. I think we're going to pause on that
Hell yeah.
and see everybody's favorite character.
Before we move on to Mortimer, should we take 5? You good with
Yeah,
that,
we'll
Donnie?
take 5, but I will leave us on
sure.
the
Okay.
backsplash of where it all began.
Ooh, all right. Let's take a quick 5. See you at 8:20, everybody. 8:20.
Ready?
What is up? We are back. Sorry about that. I had to get my dinner. Got some sushi here and a little bit of miso soup. So I'm just going to eat that now and continue on listening along with you guys as an audience member tonight to the boys do their thing. All right, let's jump back in. Say hi.
Big
Dressed up.
spirally
All right.
horns.
Hello.
What up?
They're big. I didn't
Simon
realize
again.
they were that big.
They're huge.
Is she
Like-
still alive?
Yes.
or maybe it's the size of an elk, but it's still large. It
What
is
is?
huge. There's an African animal called a kudu, and I saw one just
Oh,
like
yeah, kudu.
headbutt some chick into oblivion for trying to feed it.
Well, all right.
It was pretty funny.
Nice.
Stand
Yeah.
waited.
They're,
Well,
they're-
all right.
They're magnificent animals. Don't fuck with nature.
Right.
All right, boys. I'm excited to eat this sushi and drink this miso soup and listen to the fun times. Here we go.
Okay. If you insist. No, I'm kidding. I think we go on Dragonfall, but the place you get teleported to, Mortimer, is not what you were expecting.
Hmm.
And you wind up in Ye Old Wormspine Tavern, right on the stage, in the middle of the evening.
Damn, still remember this?
Yeah, I do. The little red wormling.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, that was Bobbity's first fight,
Yeah, that was my first
Yep.
kill.
Killed a
and he
dragon.
killed 2 dragons.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's great.
Anyway,
Not full dragons, but you know,
No.
like dragon.
they were
lings.
wormlings. Yeah, they were
Wormlings.
wormlings.
For our level, that's pretty crazy.
You guys were like level 5. It's a long time ago. Maybe less.
Yep. I think Morty will look around. What's he see?
A bunch of bar patrons like all turn around and staring at you because you just appeared in the middle of the stage.
Oh, hello. Sorry. Carry on. Morty will hop down.
Nice. The barkeep kind of stops you for a second. He like leans over the edge, like over here, and he says, "Wait a minute. I've seen you before, haven't I?"
Oh, yes, I do remember you. How are you? Right. Well, I guess it's been reasonably short of you, but it's been quite a while for me.
Yeah, time flies, I think they say.
Sure.
I just wanted to say we miss having you and your friends around. He kind of looks back over at the red dragon head on the wall, and he's like, "Some fun times. That strange elf fellow and that
Oh, yes.
morning star guy,
Oh, yes.
and you know, everyone else.
And all the other dead friends.
Yeah, and that weird boy from Barrowton. And
Oh,
you got a
yes.
dwarf hippie after that.
Okay, well, I'm not as sad about that one. Yes, those were good days. My cat is meowing at me. 1 second.
Mm.
Go away!
He looks around for a cat. It's like, what's going on?
Oh, sorry. Yes, those were the days. I think Morty will kind of wander over to the little dragon head.
Yeah, he kind of follows you around the bar.
Those,
Ducks under the giant worm spine.
Nice. Those were the days. How's this doing? Is it a fine addition to your bar?
Yes, everybody asked questions. We did have a drunk guy try and throw darts at it one night, but
Mm.
I
think Morty looks at it and like sees a little dart hole. Oh.
yeah, he's like, but that was a wild night.
Oh, no, understandable. You run a
Mm.
ruckus establishment.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You look much more important now, so I say things have gone well for you.
Yeah, I think Morty carries himself in a much more comfortable way. Like before, he was like
Right.
kind of anxious and self-conscious.
Right.
He's not like exuding confidence, but he kind of looks like a guy who has like things to get done, and he's
Yeah,
much
like
more
your chest
comfortable.
is a little more up and your stride is a little more brisk, right? It's not as reserved and, you know, sheepish, right? As
Yeah.
before. Cool.
Yes. I appreciate it. Appearances do change. It's maybe hard to believe, but it's been much longer for me due to some extenuating circumstances. But how have things been here in Dragonfall?
strangely peaceful.
Oh, that is
Though there
good.
were rumors about those damn morning stars getting into more trouble than they could handle, and we saw smoke pouring from the mountain, and if you believe it, dragons circling the peak. Well, that's what the guards say.
Dragons?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yes.
Are there still dragons there?
I don't go anywhere near there. I could not tell you myself. You might have to ask my brother, the steward.
Oh
I
yes, my
remember
powerful brother
you.
is the steward.
And I remember you all speaking with each other for many months. You and
Yes,
your
how is the
friends.
steward? Is he in town?
He is.
Interesting.
They are very concerned. Archmage Ileandra left and she never returned.
Yes, she will not be returning, possibly ever. But hopefully there'll be some sort of solution to that issue.
Wizards in their business, right?
Yes, well, elven wizards are even weirder, I'll be honest with you.
I'd believe it.
Yes.
Well, feel free. I have an open room for the night. You can stay if you like.
Oh, yes, of course. How much?
On the house.
Oh, no, sir. Please, allow me 5 gold. How's that sound?
No, you and your friends gave me enough gold to put my grandchildren through university. So I don't think that will be necessary tonight. Mr. Gruel, was it?
Yes, Mortimer. Mortimer Gruel.
Yeah.
Remind me of your name again. I apologize, my friend.
Oh shit, I gotta remember the bartender's name from like session 3.
Yeah,
Fuck.
yeah.
Even Sticks
Um,
didn't know.
No, it's somewhere. It's some
I
fucking
just see his
Nordic
like
ass
mouth
name.
open and like a little loading bar, like a little loading circle pops up.
Yeah, it's like you're
Yeah, he's
buffering
like, my
right
name
now.
is womp, womp, womp.
My name is buffering. Buffering.
Or he's like, my name is, and then like right as he's about to say it, like the doors of the inn bust open.
Exactly. Timmy. That's some generic canned name. No. What did I name this guy? Fuck, I have it written somewhere. I don't know where it is though. I think it was like Einar or something like that.
Sounds about right. Just name him now. Fuck it.
I just want to. No, I already did name him. I just want to make sure I don't name him the same thing I named the fucking steward. That would be embarrassing.
I think the steward
is
Einar.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I think this guy's name was like. I don't know. We'll give him a new name. His name will be Tovar. Fuck it.
Ah, yes, Tovar. That does ring a bell.
You're telling me. No, I'm just kidding. He just kind of looks up at you and he says, "There's some grand times that you and your companions had. Smelling like the sewer. Like absolute shit in my bar.
Oh,
We did
man.
kill a shit
But you
monster.
always paid well."
We should have brought you a shit monster's head. I would have been one to hang out.
He starts laughing. He says, "My lord, back then you didn't drink. May I offer you anything this evening? To celebrate your wonderful return."
Tell you what. I have some business I must attend to with the steward, but if things go well, I will come back and we can have ourselves a glass of wine. How's that sound?
He says, "I'll hold you to it."
Excellent, Tovar.
He points over to this room and says, "You can stay there for the evening.
Oh, thank you, sir.
It's the deluxe suite." No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
But he kind of chuckles and he says, and he puts the key on the bar.
Yeah, Morty will mage hand it into his pocket. Whoop.
And he goes like,
New
"You're a
trick.
magician now?"
Well, I was always a magician, but of a different sort, my friend. Time changes us all, doesn't it?
Yeah, I guess so. And then he kind of gets yelled at by someone on the other side of the bar, and he says, "Stay as long as you need." And he dips back under the bar to the other side.
Hmm.
Aw.
What a nice man. Well, off to the capital, I suppose, or the city, castle. What is it called? I don't know. The steward's house. Yay!
It was a palace or a house or a castle. Not a house, a castle or. God damn it! I can't talk tonight. I'm so sorry. Um, it's this place. It's the keep.
The keep.
The key. That's right. That's a good word for it.
The
Yep.
keep.
What time of day is it?
I think at this point it's like early evening, and you're over here.
Okay. Yeah. Morty will trudge on up to the keep.
For those of you, and this is mainly, for new viewers and new party members. This was the first town we started in when we started this whole campaign all those years ago. And dude, coming back is weird. I like it though.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Feels super nostalgic.
Oh yeah, it's super crazy.
11 months ago.
Yep, I just remember jumping into sewers, listening to fucking dumping diarrhea noises, killing rat monsters.
Yep.
Good times.
Good
Honestly.
times.
Yeah.
Goddamn good times.
That's right. Ilyandra's tower and everything else. Oh my god, cool.
Oh,
He doesn't
Leandra
love a
always being
good
close to
poo
mice.
noise.
Yep, that's right. It wasn't on purpose. That's just what was in the. God damn it. All right. Okay. So Morty, it is kind of late in the day. Do you still want to just go in the evening and just be like,
Yeah, I
fuck
think-
it?
I think what he's got is going important enough. He's got to get the fuck out of here as quick as possible.
So you're gonna head down, up through the sort of the scholar section of the city, and then back up to the keep.
Yep.
I think as you walk up, there's like 2 guards at the door, and they halt you. They say, "State your business."
My name is Mortimer Grew. I require urgent word with the steward.
Yes, your name is known to us. You may enter.
Thank
They
you.
open the door, and one of them walks in, and he pounds his staff on the ground, and then shouts, "Visitor for the steward!" And then he taps his staff again, and he turns around and leaves. The door's shut behind you. And then you see a familiar face. And it's sort of like a middle-aged gentleman. He's got gray streaked blonde hair and a nice beard with braids in it. And he walks down and he says, "Well, it has been a long time since you have visited us."
Longer for some of us than others. How have you been, my lord?
Well, we have been fine in the city itself. We are concerned about things beyond our walls.
Yes, and that is what I have come to speak to you about. I've heard things have been peaceful with you in our time gone here.
Yes. Ever
That's
since Ileandra left, we had no more problems.
Well, problems do follow, huh? So, I'm sure she kept you in the loop at least a little bit about the Atrophis situation.
Yes.
Things are coming to an end here. We will need you to come into the fold. All of us.
And he looks down and he says, "That is not for me to decide, but I shall grab His Majesty if you wish."
Yes.
He nods. Turns around. You wait there probably about 5 minutes before you hear the sounds of someone coming down the hallway again.
We've
And
never
he,
actually seen the king of this city
King
before.
himself.
Yeah, we've only ever talked to the steward until right now.
Correct. You weren't important enough to talk to the king until now. So
And we're just lowly nerds.
We're just
Yep.
shit monster killers in the sewers.
that's it.
That's
All
true.
you did,
yeah.
you were the
Straight
city custodians. That's
Yep.
what you were.
We were the
When
guys that
you-
got
when
sent
you
to
were
the
here.
We're
sewers.
doing late-term
Custodial
abortions on
engineers.
poop babies.
That's right. You were sewage engineers for the city of Dragonfall. So,
Pest control.
right.
I prefer a
And,
shit solution manager.
I prefer
Yes.
shit manager. Thank you very much.
Uh,
So after that, you hear footsteps and you see a gentleman come through, and he has He's not wearing a crown or anything. He's actually wearing like some fancy sort of like evening attire. Like he was probably getting ready to go to bed soon. And he has long black hair, like sort of gray blue eyes, and he has like a thick handlebar mustache and no like beard part.
How long has he
Uh,
been King of Dragonfall?
For a while, for at least your lifetime.
Yeah, so I think Morty probably recognizes him from like festivals and whatnot, and, like public outings.
Yeah, and like paintings and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, I think Morty will give him a bow. Oh, Your Grace, thank you for seeing me.
I think his name is Jarl Sigurd of
Jarl
Dragonfall.
Sigurd.
Yeah. So
He goes by Jarl.
yeah, Jarl would be his official title, but he'd go by Your Majesty, My Lord, whatever. And he kind of honorific like that, but yeah. Jarl is his official title. So he
Do we have a
kinda-
name for the? Do we have an official name for the alliance yet?
No. You guys have never picked a group name yet.
Hmm.
Although
now's,
I think
now's
we did.
Mortimer's chance to name it.
Oh,
What
fuck.
did,
Just
no, what
about
did we
to-
what did we unofficially say someone called it? Again, whatever
Something
ridiculous
so
name.
terrible it's not worth remembering.
Chat loved it. God damn it. But anyway, so yeah. I think he kind of looks down as he's walking down the stairs and he says, "Hmm. Who do I have the pleasure of meeting with? You are dressed quite well."
Oh, well, thank you, my lord. The name is Mortimer Gruel. I was a resident here in Dragonfall, and now I am representation of the Alliance of Elves, Dwarves, and Men. Working title.
It's quite a lofty one. I wish to understand your plight, but I do have a problem of my own.
All right. I've played a few video games. I know how this works. Go ahead.
Kind of looks at you and he says, "You were familiar with Iliandra. You worked with her.
Yes, of course. She even taught me a few things. Wonderful lady.
Where did she go? She sent us no word. She disappeared. We've not seen her in months."
For all intents and purposes, she is dead now. She is. Well, her spirit is in the Feywild, and I see no reason for her to ever return.
Yeah, he kind of looks and he says, "Well, then I think the first thing toward us helping your alliance is getting a new wizard on our staff, if you will."
Hmm.
Kind of looks at you and he says, "I don't suppose you know any."
Well, I happen to know a very fine wizard. However, he is quite busy at the moment.
Hmm.
What are you looking?
Unfortunate.
Yes,
Well,
unfortunate.
we need someone to overlook not overlook, oversee. Sorry, it's late. The magical comings and goings of our town, as well as give us advice on things that us mundane folk do not understand.
I understand. Well, not to nominate myself, but my lord, it would be an honor to be your court wizard. However, I have current obligations that require my need as of right now, but once the world is saved, no big deal there. I'd love to come back to Dragonfall and look over things.
Will you humor me for a little walk?
Certainly.
The king kind of smiles. And he kind of snaps and waves his hand, and then some guards show up to flank you guys. And you start walking outside of the palace. You walk down the main walkway past all the torches, and you start taking a familiar path to you toward Iliandra's tower. And
Mm.
you walk across the bridge over the still lake where sits the island that has the tower. And you walk up to the door of this tower. And it is closed and sealed with different runes and magical writings, some of which you actually recognized having spent some time in the Fae and with Ileandra learning those magics. And you feel a compulsion to open the door in a way that seems natural to you. So you have a thought in your head of how to open this door, and somewhat of a temptation or a compulsion to want to execute that.
Yeah, so I think Morty kind
Do
of
you want to
drags
fight
his-
that, or do you want to?
No, I think Morty does it.
Okay, so you have this impulse, and you say some words in like ancient Sylvan, and wave your hands in a particular matter, verbal somatic, if you will. And you see the runes start to light up on the edges, and the doors start to split and open. And the king kind of looks at you and he says, "No one we've come across has been able to open this. Seems that you know the way to do this."
Well, it's a simple matter of sylvan runes, but yes.
Interesting. But I need you to see something.
Of
And he
course.
starts walking up the stairs. Said, "The tower sealed itself a week after she left. Before that, we were able to look inside of it. I'm not sure why it was sealed. I can imagine to protect our stuff, but we found something interesting."
All right.
And he walks up to the room that you had many conversations with Ileandra in this room. It's the big, large room with like chase lounges and like a fountain in the middle and a lectern where she had her books and spell books and all that kind of stuff. And when he walks up to the central room, next to one of the chase lounges on a desk, there are three things that you immediately see. The first thing you see are two objects on a table. One is a dagger that is made out of the tooth of a dragon, which you recognize. You've seen many dragons. You've seen their teeth many, many times. And you also see a silver mirror that is carved in an or engraved in an elven fashion with sylvan runes all around it as well. And on top of these two items is a note or piece of parchment with writing on it, whatever you want to call it.
All right, Morty will go over and read the note.
The note says, "I knew you would find this. Take the offer. You may have my things." And then it says -L in Elvish runes.
That bitch. All
The
right.
king looks over and he says, "Can you read it?"
Yes, of course. She was aware that maybe some sort of successor would come along, and she's offered her possessions.
How touching. You may keep those. I have no need of them, though. The dragon tooth looks interesting.
Sure, I have it. I need nothing. I have no need of it.
It is yours. I dare not.
Yeah, all right.
I learned a long time ago never to anger a wizard. So,
Certainly.
and all right, so you take the items. You are now in possession of, let me find what I wrote down. One is a dragon tooth dagger, for sure.
Cool.
And the other one is, what's it called? It's not that one. a mirror of the past.
Okay.
You may add those to your character sheet.
Now, what the hell does this do?
Mirror of the Past is interesting. The Dragon Tooth Dagger is cool. It's basically a +1 dagger that does 1d6 acid damage extra. But if you fight anybody, normally this is designed around a different module, but if you fight any of the Dragonborn, the Chromatic Dragons, the Chromatic Dragonborn in my campaign, if you fight any of them, that turns into a +2 and +2d6 acid damage.
Nice.
So a
So
3D
doubles.
is it 1d4 plus 2d6, and it's a +2, or
What?
is it 1d4
Yeah.
plus 2 plus 2d6?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Correct.
And
then the other thing is the Mirror of the Past, which is a pretty freaking cool item. You can gaze into a mirror and think of an target or object, target or creature, whatever you want to call it. And instead of the holder's reflection, it presents you scenes from the target's past. Information is accurate, but is random and cryptic, and is presented in no particular order. It gives your information for 1 minute or less, and that's it. It can't be used again until the next dawn. So
that's cool.
it is a scrying device.
Well, Leandra. I see you still have tricks up your sleeve, you old hag. I'm playing, I like her. All right. So your wizard problem is solved. What else? Respectfully, of course.
Well, what brings you here? I assume you didn't show up just to take a job.
No. How about we have a seat? This will take a moment.
Yeah,
And,
he sits down in one of the chase lounges.
And Morty will begin to explain everything of the past 6 months.
Okay. What things do you specifically want to hit on, though?
Atrophis, Coming Death, Necromancer, we need your help.
Blew up city. It is now dust.
No one is safe.
Yeah, gotcha.
And that is why you must join us. Dragonfall will die if it stands alone, and we will die if Dragonfall doesn't stand with us. So please.
We shall do what we can. You
Most
are,
excellent.
after all, my advisor now.
Oh, yes, I suppose I am.
Kind of nods and he says, well, as per the traditions of Dragonfall, this tower and all of its belongings are yours. You may stay here, dwell here. Leave it for all I know. It is yours to do with what you wish.
Oh, thank you.
He says,
Never had a home.
he kind of looks over and he says, yes, I think it is only fitting.
Well, thank you, my lord.
The successor of our former wizard to take her position. Then he kind of stands up and he says, well, I guess we shall prepare to do what must be needed. We shall stay in contact with you, though if I were you, I'd gain your other allies together, and we should all hold council.
Yes, I believe there will be some sort of gathering in the Elven Lands. Of course, I can get you there very quickly. There's a teleportation circle inside this tower. I believe. Unless I'm talking out of my ass.
Kind of looks and he says, well, we shall await your word on when such a meeting shall occur then.
Most excellent. How is the orphanage these days?
Same as it ever was. I
With the
suppose.
steward be in charge of that? Or
It is run by the city, so yes, me and the steward are in charge.
excellent. I shall pass some funding to the steward. Well, I'll be in touch. I have to see a man about a donkey.
Hmm?
Yes.
kind of
Arnold.
very well. I got my names back. Thanks, Al. The steward's
Yeah.
name is Alvis.
I got you, bro.
Elvis.
I watched the first session
Nice.
to get those names.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
He
and
went
then
above and beyond.
and then I think it was Elvor for the bartender.
yeah. I could because your accent was like
Yeah.
so good and thick. I was like, I can't understand what this dude's saying.
I think it's Elvor for the bartender, not Tovar.
Nice.
But I think
Elvor.
I think Jarl Sigurd is original. That one I intended the whole time. So, anywho, so yeah, it says yes. Alvis is in charge of such things.
Most excellent. Well, I mean, would you see Elvis before I see Elvis?
That depends what you're doing after this, I suppose. I'm going to head back and get a night's rest.
I'll take care of it. No worries.
Very well. And he stands up and he says, I never thought I would live to see such times.
Yes, neither
And-
did I. I thought I'd die in the streets of Dragonfall, hungry and alone. But here I am, wizard man. Ka-chow.
Kind of chuckles and he says, Don't let it go to your head. Many wizards of this town have died doing very stupid things, all in the name of fame and power.
All right. Well, I shall read about that and avoid their mistakes. Thank you, my lord.
He kind of nods and starts walking out.
You know, as far as bosses go, it could be worse.
And there you are, standing in Ilyandra's old fucking mage room. Oh, man. Where Nevern
Nice.
almost got magically bitch slapped by Ilyandra for being an asshole
Mhm.
on several occasions.
The new Wizard of Dragonfall.
Mortimer Gruel.
I will
Awesome.
take out the mirror.
Ooh.
And I will gaze into it
Okay,
And I
what
will
are you
think-
thinking about?
very heartily about Arnold the donkey.
It's only going to show you things from his past, though. So.
How has he been these last 6 months?
Oh, okay.
It shows you.
Well,
It shows
doesn't
you.
show you in order. That's the problem.
Oh,
So it's
fuck.
like all you see
him
are
flying through the
photos.
air because like
Yeah, I
never
was
picked him
gonna
up, right? Like
That's
it's
right.
like-
I was gonna say the things you see in the mirror are him getting airlifted over a fucking pile of rocks, him being like living in a pasture, like him carrying all of your shit, like him chewing some grass, and then after a minute, it's just like
Us
you
ditching
see
him.
You see him as no, you sold him to a farm. Like he's
Right.
like you see him like hauling things around. You see him carrying packs of gear. You see him like, you know, in a field, just like hanging out, like just donkey stuff. Getting floated one time. Getting floated over some rocks one time.
Nice.
Happy ending.
All right, Morty's gonna head to the farm.
He's going to the farm. I'm going. All right. You're gonna wait till tomorrow, or are you doing it in the middle of the night?
Ah, wait till I'm gonna be a douchebag. Wake up! I want to buy my donkey back.
Do you sleep in the inn or do you sleep in your new swanky elf tower?
Ah, dude, I don't think Morty even sleeps. I think he's like checking out all the cool wizard shit he's got.
Oh yeah. Good call.
Mortimer
Numerous
forgets what he's
books
doing.
about history, about like the Feywild, about elves, about fucking Lon Tiernan, like all these fucking places, right? Like, yeah,
I think he's like a kid in a candy shop. He's just going nuts.
yeah. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm about to create dissent in the chat.
Oh no.
It's better than okay.
It's all right. It's not my favorite. It's fine though. It's good. It's definitely good. I'm just a snob. No, I just knew half the staff from Murad, so it's like it's different for me.
Yeah, I get it.
It's
There's
good.
like a
It's
couple
fine,
of
though.
like specific standout things there. Like
Oh,
the
absolutely.
duck
Also, an old
stew.
manager I don't like is in charge of Murad now, but one of the hosts I do like is at Murad now, so who knows? Everyone does a tour there. But yeah, so you're checking out all the cool wizard shit. You still like I think like you're like looking through books and flipping through shit when you notice the sun rising through the window.
Oh, not
And
again, Mo. Not again.
do you just head off to the farm then?
And I suppose it's time to see that man about his donkey.
What's your goal here? I'm curious. You gonna buy back Arnold?
I guess I gotta ask fucking Jordan if he can teleport creatures too.
Probably.
Alright. And yeah. Gotta go buy my donkey back. If he's got any cool donkey friends, I'll, buy his friends too. Take him back to the farm. Take him back to the
Beast of
manor.
burden. I'm sure Kale will be excited.
Arnold will never have to work again. In fact, we give him his own room.
Hell yeah. Pimp
And
my
actually-
barn.
Mortimer, before you leave the tower, it's almost like serendipity. You have the feeling that you know that there is something in the very top floor of this tower that is for you.
Alright. Morty will
It's almost like, you know, it's almost like if you could wish for just something, this would be it. And you don't know why you feel that way.
Well, Morty will jump on the winds of fate and head upstairs.
The door is locked.
Damn. Can I
And
use knock
sealed.
on it?
You can try.
I will use knock on it.
Nothing happens.
Piss.
You notice a bunch of Sylvan writing over the top of the door.
What's it say?
Let they who are worthy cross the threshold.
Oh, so I'm not worthy yet, am I?
A giant cartoon face shakes its head at you. No, I'm just kidding.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Yeah.
All right. Suppose now's not the time. But I will come back door, and I will enter you. Give it a wink.
Ooh. Yes, queen.
Mm.
All right, that's cool.
Okay, meta, that's your fucking wish item is hiding in there because of the way the wish was phrased. You know the exact location and what to do. You need to prove yourself worthy to this door. And there will be something that is legendarily
Ooh.
powerful hiding in there.
Blow it up.
That's your ultima weapon, dude.
Oh,
Nice.
it's my R in League of Legends. I'm gonna
Nice.
get my alt.
There you go.
Amazing. Very cool.
All right. So you want to go to the farm and buy back Arnold?
Yeah.
All right, how much does a donkey cost?
I don't know.
Not
I
just
don't
any
think Morgan does. He'll
donkey.
just give him like 5 gold. Like, taking care of my donkey.
All right, you just hand him 5 gold and he's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
Does he
he's
have any-
stoked. That's like how much all of his donkeys cost. So he'll
Does
take
he have like a
5 gold.
donkey girlfriend? Or is he like the only donkey?
No, he doesn't have a donkey girlfriend, but if you would like to buy
I knew
multiple
when you
beasts of
walked in here
burden
that you
for
were
some
going to be
reason, you may.
spectacular.
I'll buy him a lady.
Simon!
I'll ask him what donkey he gets along with the best. Who's he hang out with?
I don't know. Such a
I'll-
ridiculous question.
I'm just saying this dude on this farm can probably get more money out of him if he's just like, yes, this is his best friend. Will also cost 5 gold. Come on, man.
Sure. 5 more gold.
Mortimer's just like, here's a year's salary. Give me 2 donkeys. He's like, all right.
Yeah, guy probably just like sucker, but like doesn't
Right,
realize
but
Mortimer just has
Mortimer's like
infinite gold.
richer than God.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, totally. All right. Yeah,
All
no,
right.
subtract your 5 gold. You may have your 2 donkeys, including Arnold.
Yay!
Nice.
You are now standing in a field with 2 donkeys, dressed like a
Oh.
wizard.
Head back to town and take him up to my tower. Actually, I'll head to the orphanage first.
Okay.
How I guess we never really described the Gruel Street Orphanage, but how's it look? I imagine it's like some rundown building.
Yeah, it's probably like over in like the far side of town over here. You know, maybe it's this big ass building over here.
Ooh,
Where?
take it again.
This one,
Can't see.
Again, I
Oh,
can't see
there
it.
it is.
like in the far corner.
Bottom left.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Maybe it's here. I think it's this one. That makes
Okay.
better sense. But it's like this old ass house, and it's near the church with the graveyard. There's like a little market next to it, and there's just like a ton of kids everywhere, and like triple bunk beds. You know, the whole 9.
Yeah, so I think Morty will approach the children with his 2 donkeys. Be like, all right, listen here, children. I have business to tend to, but until I come back, free donkey rides. And I will pass off the reins to these irresponsible children and knock on the door.
Of course. You see kids like literally just like clambering around these donkeys. Hopefully one doesn't get kicked in the face.
Oh well.
Arnold wouldn't do that.
Arnold's the bestest boy.
He's a good boy. He is a good boy.
Arnold and Bisha are both in the good boy club.
All animals are, right?
Right.
Even bears
Ideally.
and tigers.
I mean,
No,
they're
maybe
just
not.
trying to be good boys, and then we ruin it.
Yeah.
Is generally what happens.
And so does instinct and hunger. Yeah.
Yeah.
That ruins it too.
Yeah, that hunger is that's a strong one.
It's a bitch.
So you walk into the Gruel estate, and what goes down? What do you say? What do you want
I
to do?
imagine the old madam who took care of Morty as a child is like old and decrepit and is like the headmaster.
Yeah, she's
there
like
now.
1,000 years old. She's like whacking a kid on the wrist with a spoon, being like, "Don't touch your gruel, no!" She like whacks him with a spoon.
Oh my, Madam Agatha, you have not changed a day.
Who the hell are you? Oh.
Well, it's me, it's Morty.
He looks over. Mortimer?
Yes, Mortimer, the sweet boy.
There's no way you actually have money now. How is that possible?
Yeah. Well, I kind of lucked into it, to be honest with you. It wasn't really voluntarily. It kind of just came about. Point being, how are you? You look old.
I'm good. Though the innkeep says you killed a dragon or something crazy like that. I swear he's lost his marbles, he has.
Well, we've killed multiple dragons, Madam Agatha.
You're taking the drugs, aren't you?
Only the good ones. You know me too well.
She whacks you on the head with a spoon.
Nah, okay, I'm playing. No drugs, no drugs.
She goes, "And why did you come here? Not just to visit me, I don't think, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you don't know that. Right?
I
It's been a
can
while.
smell it.
Okay, sorry. Maybe I have an altruistic bone.
Nothing fools this nose, I tell you what."
That is true. You always found my chocolate. That was very mean of you. Anyway, well, I thought it'd be time to maybe renovate the house, and maybe this year, and maybe all of the coming years, children could not get only pants or shirt; they could get pants and shirt.
Yes, everyone chooses the pants anyway.
The one year I chose shirt, it was so terrible.
You were always a funny child, you were.
Yes, I thought I could corner the market on shirts, rent them out for food, and did not work out that well. Anyway, point being, how much you to redo the house, fix a couple leaks, make it look real nice, yes?
I don't know. I'm not a bleeding architect.
All right, well, I don't know.
I'm old. I hit children with spoons. That's what I do.
This is true. All right, well, madam, what if I put a fund together and say 500 gold? How would that do for a couple of years for the children?
500 gold. What, are you going to buy me a unicorn and prance around on it? That's ridiculous. Nobody has that kind of money.
You know what? You're right. I'm sorry. I will talk to the steward and see what kind of funding he can work out. He'll like give her an awkward side hug. Like, well, it's good to see you, Matt.
Don't touch me! And she whacks you on the face with the fucking spoon. You walk out.
Crazy old bat.
Yes, dude, totally. 100%. She, like, probably doesn't even know where she is. Her instincts are to hit things with spoons at this point.
I like the voice. Well done.
Yeah,
Old
so Morty
people's
will
all
go.
I got. That's it.
Morty will go and see the steward and like set up a fund for the orphanage with 100 platinum,
Ooh.
1,000 gold.
There's a lot of money there.
Don't you think about spending it, please?
Elvis, like, kind of gives you a weird look. It's like, I have set aside an account for the orphanage.
Most excellent.
Although, I don't think Lady Agatha knows what to do with the orphanage anymore. Would you like to authorize someone else to make the repairs in her stead?
Yes, well, she's the heart of the orphanage. Of course, I want her to stay there, but yes, certainly. Hire some professionals.
Well, okay. It shall be done.
Thank you.
All right. Before we leave Dragonfall, is there anything you want to do?
No, I think I'm good. Got my donkey. Rebuilt my orphanage. I don't know.
Got
Maybe
whacked
that's
in the face with a spoon?
Yeah, still a little red from spoon marks. That sting
Mortimer
of
returns
nostalgia.
to the house and he's got like these round red welts all over his face. Whacked in the face with a wooden
Yeah, I think
soup
that's it for
spoon.
Morty. I think he's gonna take his donkeys and go to the teleportation circle.
All right. And as the bright light wells up around your vision, the camera wipes back to Barrowton, where we see Shu doing something. What are you doing?
Sitting in the brush on the north side of the island. If you'll give it to me that he could have infiltrated, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, sure. Are you like Rambo'd out? Like you got like green and brown like face paint? You're like hiding in there or something? Like what's going on? Set the scene for me.
Yeah, I think so Shu basically like he must have actually been basically cased the island from the north side of the river of that little channel there, and then crossed at the basically waded across or swam across at the closest point, and has been basically just set up in the trees, basically covered himself in brush, and has just been observing the sort of patrols and patterns of the comings and goings for several hours at least. He's waiting for dusk to fall.
Gotcha. All right. So you're going to wait around for it to become dark. And I think as the sun sets and torches start to go up and candles and lanterns are lit, you start to see the signs of what you recognize to be a shift change among the guards starting to occur again.
Okay. As he starts to observe that, he reaches into his bag, the pouch on his side, and pulls out the what was it called? The stone, the communication stone.
Yep.
Sending stone, and sort of holds it in the palm of his hand, and just how does this damn thing work?
You
What do I
hear
talk-
Joran's voice go, "It is working. What do you want to tell me? Do you
I
need to get
found-
out of there?"
I spoke to your girl. I think I know where this priest is. I'm going in to learn what I can. If I
Oh
can
my,
kill
that's
her, should I?
Oh my, that sounds horrifyingly dangerous. I suppose the answer to if you can should be yes, but I don't think you can. So it's up to you. Sure.
Hmm.
If you need to get out, you know who to call.
All right. Well, you'll hear from me or you
Although,
won't.
to get out, you have to get to my house or find a teleportation circle and then contact me. So be aware of that.
Noted. If you don't hear from me, I'm dead.
Oh,
How do I hang this thing up? Shoo out, and he puts the
oh
bag back in his
my
pouch.
gosh. This is the last thing you hear before the thing cuts out.
Okay, so is there a uniform that they're wearing? Like the folks patrolling around this, are they?
Yeah. I wonder if I still have the picture of all the fucking different Kellamvor priest outfits. There are many different looks to all of this. Let's see. I probably don't. That would be too convenient. Not there anyway. Yeah, but there are several different outfits that the priests of Kellamvor wear,
I found
depending on their rank. You found it?
it. Yeah, let me download it real quick.
Hell yeah! Look at Crazed coming in with the fucking deal.
Putting in the D&D chat.
Hell yeah!
Oh,
Oh, Al beat me. Fuck.
So yeah, these are all the
Sorry,
different.
it's all in our old chat, so I'm like just like
Oh,
all up in there.
Got it from
got it.
Google search.
so which
Yeah.
of these options is patrolling?
More than likely, their apprentices are monks, and probably monks. So these guys in these black robes with the black staff, with the, scale, the bone scale of Kellamvor. So
Okay, so as he sees the shift change start to happen, or at least the patrol start to thin just a bit, if we're doing it the cinematic style, Shu sort of stands up from the brush slowly and waves a hand over himself and appears to be one of these monks.
okay.
And then starts as confidently as he can, but sort of mimicking their movement patterns, starts moving down the eastern side along the path on the eastern side of the building towards the south end.
Yeah, I think what happens is you see one of these like master monk dudes come out with the teal accents and the white staff. And he kind of looks out and he sees you. And he says, "Tobias, why are you late?" He stares at you with his black little beady eyes, his huge beard.
Where does he come out from? Like where are we?
From inside the temple. Like he's walking out the front doors to make sure that like he's overseeing kind of what's going on with the temple. Make sure the guards aren't slacking off.
Are there visible like any other patrolling visible guards?
No. Right now you two are alone. What do you want to do here?
Let's see. I cast minor illusion and create the sound of something heavy falling just behind him in the entryway.
He goes, What the devil? And he turns around.
I immediately sneak attack him.
Nice. Roll me an attack roll.
With let's see. How far out was I from him when he saw me?
Oh, you guys are like in talking range.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then can I cast can I pull the shadow blade out? Do I have time?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can and then no, that's not how it works, right? How do I do that? It's with advantage.
Link the spell one more time.
Okay, hold on. The spell link. How do I link the spell into Roll20?
Hold on, I gotta
Oh,
see it.
like that. There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm attacking with advantage. And I'm sneak attacking, right? Yeah.
Right.
I think that's how I do it. I don't know how to do it. Oh, wait.
Yeah, that looks right. And then you just roll whatever your sneak attack is.
It's like what, 46? Yeah. Yeah, so you just like kill this dude straight up.
Mm.
Like when he turns around, you just nail him with your shadow blade and he's just fucking dead. So
Nice.
so
Shu,
this-
like,
he's
as he
just
spins
laying on the
around,
ground.
yeah, there's a thud noise. This guy spins around and Shu literally pulls this like weird sort of, it looks like a dagger, but it looks like it's made of smoke from the inside of the monk's robes, and just um you see, I mean, if anybody watching, not that there is, would see one slightly younger monk stab the older monk straight in the back of the head, and then place one, stabbed him in the back of the head with his right hand, and then holding the hilt, or holding the grip of the blade, and then places his left hand on this older monk's shoulder and starts dragging him backwards towards the bushes again.
Okay.
So I want to conceal his body in the bushes that I just emerged from.
Okay.
And then sort of, wipe my hands, conceal the blade again, and then start walking south. Does he have anything on his body?
Yes, he has a large ring with several keys on it.
Yes, one. I help myself for sure.
All right.
And then I resume. I slide back out of the bushes and start heading south again. I want to see what's on the south end of the building.
Oh, like all the way around the back?
Yeah, is there like are there like regularly spaced doorways or anything like that?
There is
Like on that-
not, but there is a rear kind of gated off entrance to the back that seems to go down under the earth.
And are there like windows?
Uh-uh.
It's just one solid.
Well, the only windows are like giant stained glass windows you can't see through.
Okay, so there's not like higher up, like there's not like open air like
No.
parapets or anything higher up on the building.
No, not here.
Okay, and are there visible chimneys or anything like that?
No, there's no chimneys.
Okay. Then I want to go around the back of the building and attempt to enter that like subterranean entrance.
You have thieves' tools and shit?
Oh yeah.
All right. Roll me a sleight of hand check.
And I believe.
Actually, you don't have to. You have a ring full of keys. If you want to try the keys,
Yeah,
try
let's.
and open them.
I'm gonna try and intuit which key would make the most sense there, and then you use that one first.
Yeah, you run through the keys. It takes you a few minutes, but you eventually find the right key, and the gate pops open and squeaks open.
Excellent. Then very cautiously, and moving as naturally as possible, I'm gonna enter the building, or descend that. Enter through that back gate.
You, as you walk through this maze of catacombs, you see a bunch of dead bodies, including a dead zombie beholder and a dead
What?
old prince of Baratin laying around.
So there's just corpses everywhere.
No, because everybody in this party before you started playing the game, this is a dungeon they went through.
Oh shit! And they just left the
So-
bodies here.
Yeah, all the zombie bodies. There's like desiccated corpses everywhere and shit.
Does Shu
Amazing.
notice anything that would be indicative of his newly found friends?
Nah, because half of them aren't these people.
Oh, I suppose that's fair. Yeah.
Half of them are dead.
Okay, so it's like a mausoleum, or it's like a catacomb down here.
Yep.
Okay, then I'm gonna Shu moves through it and looks for the next opportunity to climb up out of it.
Yeah. Okay. I don't even think I have that mausoleum map anymore. I think it's that long ago.
I'm just redoing old content at this point.
Yeah, you're
I'm
rehashing
soloing
through-
old dungeons.
Yeah, you're soloing old dungeons. That's right. That's so funny. I was like, once I remembered that there was this back entrance, I was like, he might go through the The old mausoleum. All right. So, you work your way through this mausoleum and walk past all these, like, you're stepping over, like, decapitated zombies and, like, broken skeletons with old rusty scimitars laying next to them. And you start working your way up a staircase where you start to see light. The light is pouring through a little slit in a heavy wooden door that is also locked. Do you want to spend the time to try and open it with the keys?
Yeah, can I tell if there's any, is there any way to interpret if anybody's on the other side?
Through the little slit you're looking through, you see a number of guards who are dressed the same way you look right now. And they're not really guards, they're just priests. They're just
Mhm.
standing around and they're kind of having conversations with each other. You see a couple of the elder monks walking around as well in their black and white robes. But nothing eventful out there, just people who look like you.
Okay, I want to try and use the key ring to open that door as quietly as possible and sort of slip through it.
Okay. Make a stealth check for me. All right,
30.
you accomplish that.
Sweet. Okay, and then I very gently shut but do not lock that door behind me.
All right.
And then I kind of stand with my back to that door, sort of taking in as much of this chamber that I've entered as I can.
So you are in the main, like, cathedral part. So it's just a huge open hall, but along the walls, instead of what would be like in a normal church, like iconography of the religion or like stained glass windows, there's just straight up walls of like interments of dead bodies. So it's like, how when you go into a mausoleum, there's like a little place where like a box with somebody's bones has been slid in. It's like
Mhm.
that, but floor to ceiling and like 100 feet high. It's just like a mind-bogglingly large amount of interred dead in this building. And all throughout the hallways, there are like priests of Kelimvor walking around, talking to each other, praying at various shrines and stuff like that. You also notice when you look around this room that it's not just uh, Kelimvor who is worshipped here. There are other altars to different gods of death. There's like a statue of the Raven Queen. There's like, a statue of whatever the people who became the Genasi, whatever they used to worship. This building is very old.
Sweet.
So
Huh. And is it immediately evident if there's like a way higher up into the building, or if there's like multiple any other levels I could access?
you see staircases off to the side, and they seem to go up very high.
Interesting. Okay, I think Shu's gonna wrap right and
Mhm.
then look for his nearest closest staircase and start to ascend.
Okay. So as you're ascending, it's a long time to ascend. These staircases are very, very long. Um, and you're in your full black robes. You still have a black staff from the other dude, unless you don't want to have taken that. It's kind of up to you.
No, I'm still walking with it.
Okay. So you're walking up the stairs with the staff. You have the key ring around your waist, and you're ascending the stairs. And I think when you hit the top, you see a group of elder monks speaking with another monk who is dressed in white and red. This is clearly one of the higher ups from your intuition in this temple.
Hmm.
How do you want to proceed?
I'm actually gonna sort of do they notice me?
Not right away.
Okay, then is there like, can I wrap around and like walk down a hallway away from them?
Yeah, so like the way it works is that the two staircases go up to the top, and at the top there's sort of like a long hallway that goes laterally perpendicular to the stairs.
Okay.
And then both aspects of that hallway have or both ways of that hallway have doorways in them that seem to lead to, and they're large grandiose doors, so it seems like they lead somewhere important.
Interesting. Okay, I think I'm going to Shu's actually gonna sort of wait, sort of step off to the side and use his body language to make it clear that he's like kind of queuing up and waiting for an audience with this elder monk.
Ooh, okay. The elder monk kind of looks up and notices you, then looks back to his group, kind of waves his hand a little bit, and I think they're called great monks, the next tier down. Master monks. The great monk is who you're trying to talk to. The elder monks all separate from him. One of them kind of looks at you strangely and kind of walks away. And the great monk walks up to you and he says, "Yes, my child. What do you require?"
All is quiet and as expected on the perimeter.
Good. The high priestess is not happy.
What trouble, sir?
She fears we have been found out. She calls for the master's aid, though she hears nothing back.
But surely the master still comes.
Tobias, haven't you been listening? I have trusted you with all of this because you... Never mind that now.
What do you need of me?
We must protect her at all costs. I fear that these damn Helkins in this town might do something rash. Something silly.
Hmm. The scouts I've been sending throughout the city have told me that apparently the Helkins are considering an offensive against our island.
This is not good. Where did you learn this from?
Hmm. Informants I've sent to the marketplace.
Then you shall tell her yourself. And then he grabs you by the arm and spins on his heel and starts walking toward one of the ornate doors.
Shu's eyes go wide for a second, but he does his best to play along with this and just act like this isn't totally normal.
Yeah, so I think what's going to happen is that he grabs you, he pulls out a key, puts it in the lock, and the door opens. And when you walk in, you are now in basically this part of the upper floor, like the lower part. So it's a long, semi-round room, right? It's kind of oval in shape. And in the middle, you see a woman in the middle of a room full of these elder monks, or great monks, pardon me. And they're all kind of kneeling down, and she has an altar around her with something sitting on top of the altar. You're really far away. It's hard for you to tell what it is. And she is in the middle of giving some sort of speech or sermon. And the grand monk the great monk stops in his tracks and kind of like bows his head and starts murmuring.
Mm-hmm. Shu's gonna try and mimic him and just speak so quietly that he can't really hear, like,
Sure.
He's just inaudibly
Okay.
murmuring, trying to play along.
Make me a deception check really quick.
Let's see. Your boy has proficiency in deception. And I believe expertise in deception as well.
Nice. Yeah, he doesn't notice. You sound like you're doing a good job at this. And then at the end, she says, she kind of, before she says anything, she kind of raises up her arms above it. And you can see in her arms that she's wielding a dagger. And now clearly, as you've had a chance to look, there is what looks like a body laying on the altar. And her arms are raised above it. And she says, the last things you hear is that she says, "Rejoice, for the end is near, and all life, all pain, all suffering shall be silenced in the perfect eternity of undeath." And everyone says sort of their equivalent of an amen. And then this dagger plunges straight into the chest of whatever is on the
Damn.
altar.
Can
And
Shu
it,
tell if
yeah.
the thing on the altar was dead or alive or dead already?
It's definitely dead now.
Okay. But it doesn't like the body doesn't like flinch or react or
No, the body kind of jolts up and flinches, but then it like lays relaxed, and blood starts pouring forth. And you see that it doesn't overflow or anything or spill over the edge, but kind of is absorbed somewhere into this altar.
Oh no. Okay. Shu's doing his best to concentrate and like sort of like make a draw a mental map and remember as much of this as he can. But he's still in lockstep with the master monk he came in with.
And the woman isn't dressed like any of these monks. She is kind of wearing what could be described as commoner's clothes, but she has like an ornate cloak wrapped around her that is dark black and white, which looks like the cloaks of the master monks. And she has like long dark brown, almost black hair and brown eyes, and she seems to be in a trance. She also wears like sort of a choker with a medallion at the bottom of it. But she has no shoes. She is barefoot as well.
Is it possible to like just sort of non-verbally, um, I don't know, I suppose seniority wise, she was sort of just in lockstep with this more senior monk, but he's following him pretty closely. Is it possible for Shu to like advance or like through nonverbal sort of communication, like communicate to the master monk that he'd like to be closer to the ritual?
Hmm. I think you don't have a chance to do that because as soon as the ritual ends, the other monks stand and start to like file out of the room. So
Okay,
now you and him are in a sea of people that are kind of, you know, going against your grain, if you will. Like you're trying to
sure.
move forward and they're moving back. So
Okay. Shu stands stock still, but is as subtly as possible is trying to observe faces as they pass him.
yeah. What are you trying to look for? Just to try and recognize them in the future or something?
Yeah, just to take them in and see if they're like, if they all look like they're if they have a similar look to them, or if they look like they're townspeople, that kind of,
Yeah,
just
they
trying to
just
like,
look like old townspeople, man.
okay,
This is kind of like a way creepier and actually malevolent form of like the Freemasons. It's like, old rich dudes would like join secret orders for fraternity and shit, but this is like the religious version of that.
got it.
So,
Okay.
Creepy.
yeah.
Creepy,
Uh,
creepy.
So it
yeah,
could be anybody in town.
lovely.
A couple of them actually don't look very old. Some of them look younger.
Okay.
So,
I think Shu's gonna patiently wait this one out.
okay.
But actually in the uh actually in the hubbub, like as they're all sort of like brushing past him, um I'm actually I'm gonna put my hand on the back of this master monk and charm person on him.
Okay.
Let's see. Cast. DC 14.
Okay. Oh, of a great monk, pardon me. Not a master monk. I gotta get my shit straight. DC
This guy.
14.
Mm-hmm.
He's a master monk.
Oh, Master Monk. You said not the Great Monk, the Master Monk.
No, he's a great monk. He's a great monk. My
Oh.
bad.
He looks cool.
All right, I'll make a private roll. your effect to charm him does not work.
Okay. Is he aware of my attempt or no?
He kind of turns around and looks, and he says, "What did you say?" Like almost like he heard you say something.
Apologies, master. I stumbled for a moment.
And kind of looks at you, and he says, "Very well. Keep quiet. Only speak when spoken to.
As you
My
wish.
priestess does not tolerate insolence." And he looks back over to the altar with the dead guy on it.
Oof.
He kind of walks up to the front. And the closer you get to this woman, you like look at her and she's like short, she's petite, she's got like scraggly dark brown hair. She does not look like what you would imagine when you hear evil high priestess. You know, like it's just there's something about her that feels really off, you know? And when you walk up to her, she raises her hand and the monk stops, and you with him. He turns and he says, Your worship, there is someone here who has information about the Helkans and their plans." And then she kind of turns around and she stares out. And her eyes look kind of like Kale's mother's eyes, where they're all blacked over, like you can't see anything. She looks at you. She says, "Well then, speak."
Does she resemble anybody that she recognizes?
That Shu recognizes? No.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You've never seen this woman before in your life.
Shu kneels and pulls the Helkin signet ring out of his pouch, out of the pouch under his robes, and holds it out to her in the palm of his hand and says, "Mistress, the Helkins move against us. My
Yeah.
informants tell us so."
Okay. She kind of looks down at you and she says, Is that so? And she's going to insight the fuck out of you. So- I need you to make a. Whoops. Let's try that again. I need you to make a deception check, please. 17. She looks at you and she says, she looks at you first, then she looks at the great monk. She says, "Leave us." And he bows his head, turns around, and leaves the room without even thinking about it. And then she looks at you and
Shu
she
grips the
says,
shadow blade tight under his robe, his illusory robe.
Yeah. So she looks at Shu and says, "Don't do that." And then she kind of looks over and she says, "Who are you?"
Oh, no.
And then she kind of stares straight at you. She's gonna cast Hold Person on you.
As a reaction, can I turn and Misty step away
Oh,
out through the door? The monk didn't close the door behind him.
well, the way it would work in combat is you got to save versus Hold Person. If you fail, then I think you can Misty Step out of Hold Person, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
If he passes right now, he can Misty step away right after and then run. And then there's like a
Correct.
chase. Yeah, like a
But if he
Splinter
gets
Cell chase.
paralyzed, then you're just kind of fucked.
If he fails the save, then then we have to play this out. He has to play this out.
Correct. So I need you to oh Jesus fucking Christ. I need you to make a DC 19 wisdom saving throw.
Fuck me. I'm not gonna do that. But okay.
You can do it.
You never know, you could crit.
Crit. Come
Gotta
on,
be
you got this.
positive.
Oh, so
Oh,
close.
it's so close.
Ugh.
You
Ugh.
immediately feel yourself tense up and you cannot move. You can hear, you can see, you have all your sensory, but you are unable to move anything. She looks at you and she says, I'm feeling generous today. And then she says, she kind of walks around and she says, You're lying. You are not a priest of Kellenvor. You are not one of my own, and you know next to nothing about the plans of the Helkins. The question is, who are you? And what she does is she kind of oh wow, what do I want to do here? God, so many choices. um what she does is starts speaking an enchantment of some sort. You can't understand the language, but after a while uh, you start to feel a lot worse. You start to feel kind of that emanation of dread and death that the atropal hulks and other atropals have given off. So you feel just this sort of negative energy aura emanate from her.
How long is it until Shu can make another attempt to break out of this?
How long does hold person last? Um,
Says it lasts.
Link it.
1 minute. So she's
That's it.
giving this speech and she's talking. I'll let you know when it frees up.
Okay.
And she says, The master comes. His herald does his bidding. And then she looks deep into your eyes while you're frozen there. And she says, You've seen it. You've seen him. It has been so long since I've seen him and witnessed his true majesty. And then she looks directly into your eyes and she says, You can go back and tell your friends. Send your Helkins, send anyone you dare. None of you can stand against his might. And then she releases hold person from you. And then immediately starts sort of like verbally and somatically queuing up some sort of something. What do you want to do?
Is there a window in this room?
There's like a giant stained glass window, but like the drop is like 100 feet outside.
Okay, Shu. The moment Shu has control of his body again,
Yeah.
he looks right at her face, squeezes pulls the speech stone out.
Yep.
So that does it allow Joran to hear what's happening around me? Like, can he hear things that are
I
happening around me?
guess so. Yeah.
Holds that. So I'm holding the shadow. He's holding a shadow blade in his right hand and the speech stone in his, or the sending stone in his left hand. He
Yeah.
looks right into her face and goes, "Your house of cards is gonna fall, you corpse fucking twat." And then he turns around and sprints towards the window, throws the shadow blade through the window, and then dives in like a full front dive out through the shattered stained glass window.
Holy
Nice.
shit.
And as I go flying out the window, I cast Featherfall on myself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hell
she kind
yeah.
of walks over to the broken window and stares down and watches you float down to the surface. You hit the ground and you run off. And like the great monk comes back and he's like, Mistress, shall we follow him? And she kind of holds up her hand, says, He'll be back. And hopefully he'll bring some friends next time. And then she kind of leans over and she says, We shall have to accelerate things here, I think. And then we wipe. And we go back to our dwarvish friends, getting their rucksacks and a cart ready with the king, way up in the northern reaches of the Varenhold. But before we do that, I think we should take another break. Just a shorty.
All right.
Just to give everyone a breather from Shu's badass action scene.
That was awesome. I love the
pretty
dive
great.
out. That was great.
Awesome.
Okay.
I need bourbon after that.
Yeah, that's why I'm taking a break. I need a drink. I'm serious.
How long do you guys need? Why don't we take 8 minutes? We'll come back at 9:55.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
And then we'll do like an hour and 5 and call it good.
Perfect. All right. See you guys in 8 minutes.